personal denigration. And I want to address both of those in this short contribution. The first is the regulatory impact statement that the member has claimed was not tabled in the House was tabled on the House right in front of me at exactly the same time as the bill was tabled, and was provided to the Bill's office at exactly the same time. I want to address the issues that have been raised by Russell Norman. I would note that Jeanette Fitzsimons, who was a passionate leader of environmental issues in all the years of which I spent in the House, religiously focused on playing the ball and not the man. And what I've seen from Russell Norman, and I actually think it will be terminal for the Green Party, is that he's chosen to attack the integrity of Wyatt Creech and the others that did the review, and today he started on David Carter. There is a very important thing I do want to put on the record. On Monday, when the Cabinet made its decisions on Environment Canterbury and on this bill, David Carter was not even present. And for members in this House to be attacking a minister when they are offshore doing the work of New Zealand, I think is actually below the standards that the Green Party themselves would want to set of them. I want to address quite specifically the three major parts in this portion of the bill, because in my view they are critical to the step change in water management that the government is wanting to deliver, and let me go through the three of them. The first of those is that the government is providing the commissioners with the power to be able to put in place targeted moratorium on water takes. I have to say there are members, farmers, who are concerned about that provision, who would prefer that it was not there. But it is time we were honest with water in Canterbury and say in some areas there is not more water to allocate. There is not more water to allocate. And for us spending large sums of money on lawyers and on process when there simply isn't more water is not wise, and that is why that measure is in this bill. Interestingly, I've got the correspondence that I tabled earlier in the House. When Environment Canterbury made submissions to many members, Ruth Dyson, Leanne Dalzell, many others, where they asked for that power during the course of the previous government and they were ignored, I think it's overdue for that power to be available if we're going to properly manage water in Canterbury. The second part of this bill is with respect to getting a plan. I'm advised that on the current program it will be at least 2 or 3 years before we finally get a plan on water. And members on the government benches are saying too long, need progress, need a plan, and that's why there are quite specific provisions here in this part to fast-track those provisions of actually establishing a water plan in Canterbury. Now, the third issue is one about integrated management. It does not make sense, Mr. Chairman. It does not make sense to have, whether it be the Environment Court or a special tribunal appointed by myself, making decisions on water conservation orders in Canterbury separate to the commissioners. If we're really serious about getting a group of people to get hold of this issue of water in Canterbury and to make integrated decisions, it's absolutely right that those decisions are made by those commissioners. The last point I want to make to you is this, Mr. Chair. Decisions on water conservation orders in the current law and in the amended law are to be made by the Minister for the Environment. That remains the case. And so for the accusations that somehow decisions on water conservations are being politicised, hang on, the decisions are made by the Minister for the Environment, whoever is privileged to hold that office at one time. These provisions in this part are vital extra powers that are required for these commissioners to actually be able to get on top of water management issues in Canterbury, and that is why the government has included them in the bill.
I call the Honourable Ruth Dyson.